I helped a crying guy at the laundromat months ago, and today he helped me back without hesitation. The laundromat near my apartment is one of those places that always feels slightly sad. Not tragic sad, just fluorescent lighting, plastic chairs, the smell of warm detergent, and people staring at spinning clothes like they're waiting for their life to do something. I go there on Sundays because my building's washer likes to break at the worst times. It was late afternoon, raining outside, and I was doing laundry with the same energy I do everything lately. Functional, quiet, don't think too much. I had my headphones in and a basket on my hip, loading the machine when I noticed him. A guy around my age, sitting on the far end, hunched over like he was trying to fold himself into the chair. He kept wiping his face with his sleeve. At first I assumed allergies. Then I heard the sound. Not sobbing, not loud crying, just that tight, shaky breathing people do when they're trying to cry silently so nobody can tell. I did the normal thing. I looked away. Because in public, you're supposed to pretend you don't see people falling apart. But then I saw his hands. He was holding his phone like it was useless, like it had died at the worst moment. He stared at the screen, pressed something, then dropped it into his lap and covered his face. And before I could talk myself out of it, I walked over and said quietly, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need to call someone?" He looked up fast, embarrassed, like he'd been caught. His eyes were red and he tried to smile, which made it worse. "My phone got cut off," he said, voice cracking. "I'm trying to call my mom. I just need to hear her voice for a second." Then he said this and it hit me right in the chest because it was so specific. I don't even need her to fix anything. I just need someone to sound like home. I stood there, holding my laundry basket like an idiot because I knew that feeling. Not the exact situation, but that sentence, the need for one voice to make you feel less lost. So I pulled out my phone. "Use mine." He blinked. "No, it's okay. I don't want to." "Seriously, it's fine." He hesitated like he was deciding whether he deserved it, then took my phone with both hands like it was something fragile. He went outside under the awning because it was still raining, and I sat back down pretending to scroll, pretending I wasn't listening. But when people talk to someone they love, you can hear it even when you don't mean to. His voice changed the second someone answered. It got softer. "Hi, Mom." And you could almost hear him unclench. Then, after a pause, he whispered, "I'm okay. I just needed a minute." When he came back in, he handed my phone back like it was a gift and kept saying thank you like he didn't know how else to hold himself together. I shrugged it off the way people do because making it emotional feels embarrassing. "No worries, we've all had days." He nodded really hard like that sentence mattered. Then he looked at me. "I'm Daniel." I told him my name. We didn't become friends, didn't exchange numbers, didn't do the "we should totally hang out" thing. He went back to his laundry, I went back to mine. But when I left, I kept thinking about that line. I just need someone to sound like home. A few months passed. Then one evening after work, I stopped at the same little grocery store near the laundromat. I'd had one of those days where nothing catastrophic happens, but everything feels heavy anyway. My boss had been weird, the train was late, I spilled coffee on my sleeve, my brain was stuck in a loop of, "You're messing everything up," for no good reason. I wasn't crying, but I was close. I was standing in the checkout line staring at gum, trying to breathe normally, when the cashier said my total and I reached for my wallet. And it wasn't there. I froze. Checked my pockets, my bag, the other pocket I already checked, my coat. Nothing. My face went hot so fast. I could feel the people behind me shifting, the line tightening around my panic. I stammered, "I'm sorry, I think I left my wallet at home." The cashier gave me that tired look. "I can set it aside." And I know that's a normal solution, but in that moment it felt like the last straw, like my body had been waiting all day for permission to fall apart. I stood there holding my groceries, trying not to cry in front of strangers over a wallet. Then a voice behind me said, "Hey." Not loud, just close. I turned and saw him, Daniel, same face, same calm eyes. He looked at me for a second and his expression softened, like he recognized the feeling, not just me. He didn't ask a bunch of questions, didn't make it a scene. He He just stepped forward, tapped his card on the reader, and said to the cashier, "I've got it." I stared at him. "No, absolutely not." He shook his head once, gentle but firm. "You let me borrow your phone." And then he smiled just a little and said the exact kind of line that makes your throat tighten. "You sounded like home that day." I stood there blinking like an idiot because my brain was trying to decide whether I was allowed to accept kindness without earning it. "I can pay you back." He waved it off. "Don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you did." That was the whole payoff. Not a big speech, not an exchange of numbers, not a dramatic hug. Just a small gesture that turned my worst moment of the day into something survivable. We walked out at the same time. The rain had stopped and the sidewalk was shiny. He nodded toward the laundromat. "I still go Sundays." I laughed because of course he did. "My mom's doing better, by the way." "Good," I said, and I meant it. We stood there for a second in that awkward, almost friend space, then he gave a quick wave and headed down the street. I went the other way. And I don't know if this is cheesy, but on the walk home, I kept thinking how strange it is that you can be a completely normal person in a completely ordinary place and still end up being the thing that keeps someone together for 5 minutes. Sometimes it's not grand. Sometimes it's just a phone call under an awning. Sometimes it's a card tap at a checkout. Sometimes it's a stranger giving you back your dignity before you even ask. And then everyone goes home quietly, like that's just what people do.